has found themselves in the dungeon of this brigand company that has taken them captive. Thrown roughly from the wagons, you guys have been carried deep into a cave system. And you guys hear the dripping of water in the distance, the crash of a waterfall. You guys are dragged through caverns that lead left and right, through doors made of banded iron and boarded oak. The walls are a kind of murky brown, kind of like those you would see in a canyon or those in a decrepit ravine. Moving into the cells, you see two of your companions, Phina and Kiskartchi, have been unbound from their manacles, and they have been placed into these heavy iron cells. Phina because she is a wiry elf, and Kiskartchi because, well, your tiny arms and your tiny wrists. They might have trouble finding some suitable chains for you. As for your companions, Jaya and Zynthra, you guys are bound by your arms, both of them, to these heavy shackles. These shackles that are bound into these steel chains, locked to the walls. Both of your arms, both of your wrists are bound tight. Beside you sit kind of a pail, kind of a poop bucket. You can poop if you choose to do so. And you also see a companion. A companion, maybe a compatriot, maybe a stranger, maybe an enemy. Sleeping in a corner, kind of knocked out, not saying anything, presumably sleeping. The guards that brought you in, you guys were asleep when they brought you in, so you didn't really know. But Kiskartchi, you guys would know. You would know that they are kobolds, actually, that brought you in. After they set you down, the two of them exited the room. And they exited the room and they went out. And you guys didn't hear from them again. You heard one pair of footsteps go down the hallway, and all is silent. There is a single torch burning in the room, and I will place that light now. It is placed near Jaya. You can also see what appears to be the skeletal remains of other prisoners in this room. Is there any additional information that you would like to have?
So right now it will appear that it's just us in here, and I am in the space or the gaps between this in this cage. What is the distance between them, and what material is this thing made of? Please.
Okay, if you're trying to investigate the cage material, give me an investigation check.
I hope even one will tell me if it's wood or metal, but here it goes. Investigation check?
Yep. And after I give you that information, you guys can feel free to role play from there. So roll me that investigation check, and I'll tell you a sufficient amount of detail representing what you rolled. So with a 19, you're able to tell exactly what you think that cell is. What that cell appears to be is banded iron and steel interlocked into 2x4 rivets that have been placed in a 4-beam cage. There are these 4 central pillars, and these banded iron rings have been, or not rings, but banded iron planks kind of have been bolted to them, creating this crisscross pattern that's about the size. Each of those, it creates a little square, right, that you can kind of stick your arm through, but you can't stick your head through, you can't stick your body through, it's only your arm. It appears to be a cell that is designed to capture little guys and make sure that they stay locked up tight. They are steel, they are riveted, there's no rust, they appear to be well maintained. And Yeah, it's barren.
And from where I am, I guess if I move to the border, can I see the chains that are like the chain links, like the ones that have Zynthra bounded or manacled?
Peering across the room, you and adjusting to the lack of light in some areas, you do hear the breathing of several people. Everyone is awake at this point. You guys are waking up at the same time, and you guys do hear several, people, sets of breathing. Although the exact number of people is hard to determine. You guys can take it from there.
But even in this lighting, being a kobold, I can see Zynthra and her manacles and the chains.
Yeah, if you can see them on your screen, then you can see them for sure.
Exactly. So yeah, I see that this is extremely expensive and strong. I'm trying now to see if the chains appear slightly less strong.
Yeah, sure thing. You can take a look at the chains. So they're pretty far away. So I want you to give me an investigation check at disadvantage.
15 feet, and I can see very well there.
Wait a second. Now, if you choose to investigate that chain and you arrive at a conclusion, for example, if I tell you, yeah, the chains, you think they're unbreakable, and you tell Zynthra that, then Zynthra will believe that they're unbreakable. Basically what that means is only one person has the opportunity to make an investigation check. Otherwise, there'd be metagaming, in which case...
Yeah, but the way they look, what do they look like? It's very shiny. That kind of information, just what one can see from this and my dark vision.
Yeah, so everyone would notice that, well, you and Zynthra would notice that these are iron chains. They're about, an inch or two thick for the rings. They're pretty sturdy. There is a little bit of rust on there, but not much. They appear to be used quite a bit. They're not, it's not like, they're in pretty good condition. They look like to be pretty heavy enough to hold a strong warrior. Both of them are bolted to, two sides of a wall, and Zynthra is kind of caught in the middle with her wrists tied up. Yeah, you guys feel free to take it from there.
Jaya wants to look at her chains and sort of text the strength of it.
Okay, how do you test the strength of it?
Also, how tall is this pillar?
It rises all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's just sort of yanking on them.
Okay, you give it a good yank, and it is stuck fast to the stone.
As she's looking around, does it look like they wrap all the way around the pillar, or are they fastened off somewhere on this?
They are fastened off to the side, and it looks like a key is used to unlock them.
Oh, there's like a locking mechanism that connects them to the wall?
Yep,
they're just like pinned into it or something?
Yep, there's a locking mechanism. So it looks like so there are manacles to your wrist right now, and there's like a chain, and there's like a bolt. And there's a lock connecting the chain to the shackle. So if you unlock it there, then it'll come loose.
Okay. Jaya is going to grab the chain on one side with both hands and just attempt to wrench it out of the wall.
So yeah, roleplay how that happens.
Well, at this point she would get to her feet so that she can rotate her entire body, and then she's going to, position herself in such a way that she can reach over and grab the chain on her right arm with both hands, and then she's gonna brace herself against the stone and just heave it backwards with a jerking motion. And also, I don't know if this would come into play here, but because Jaya is a Goliath, she's counted as huge, in terms of pushing, pulling, and lifting things. So I don't know if that would give me advantage on this.
Sure, I will give you a 1d4 bonus to your roll. Go ahead and roll me a strength check. So this is going to represent several minutes of you trying to do this.
Sure. Is this just a straight strength check, or is this athletics?
This is going to be strength. There's no, I mean, there's no athletic ability for this. Ooh, that's a lot. That's
And
a
then
good.
roll
That's.
D4.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll a d4. Oh. So yeah, you see it, Phina. You see it, Phina, and you can hear it, Zynthra and Kiskartchi. You hear the pulling of the chains, and the grunting that's coming from Jaya as she's heaving and hoeing at her. Are you trying to right chain or left chain? Which chain are you trying?
Right chain.
The right chain pulling as hard as she can. You hear it beginning to shake the rock, and you hear it beginning to crumble, and you notice footsteps coming down the hallway. Do you continue?
Oh yeah.
I whisper, Jaya, they're coming.
She totally ignores you. She's very focused on this, and she's ignoring, like, she's not interested at all in trying to pull the chain apart. She's wanting to pull it out of the wall.
Exactly. So you're trying to pull it out of the wall. So you're continuing. All right. If you're continuing, you hear the footsteps rapidly approaching. You're heaving, you're hoeing, you feel the rock beginning to shake. And looks like someone is casting a minor illusion. Tell me what you're doing.
What is the range in this? 30 feet. So image of a 3-foot long spider looking towards the doors.
Okay, so you conjure that image. The doors throw open as a kobold comes in. He peers his eyes on that spider, and he has to make a kind of check. He has to make an investigation check against your spell DC to find
He's
out
going
if
to
he's...
use his action for that.
Alright, give me one moment. Investigation check. Spell DC. What is your spell DC?
I'm sorry, it's a little harder here. 14.
14. Okay, he sees that spell DC. He's like, oh my god, it's a spider! It's a spider! Guys, there's a giant spider in here! And he runs away.
Okay, and now, if I can, I would like to look for the lockpick that is inside my hat. You remember that? Remember how much I spent on that hat, right?
Do I get the chain out or not?
It's going to take you a couple minutes to get it out, but you are feeling the rock being loosened. It's not a slow process. And as for the hat, as for hiding a lockpick in your hat, I mean, you didn't tell me about that.
Sir, I did during the creation of this character. I sent you a note about how much I spent on that hat because it had a pouch
Okay.
of space within it.
Sure. But you're not gonna
list of the things inside it.
Sure, you're not gonna bypass their opportunity to search you for anything of note, especially, I mean, they're gonna search you for lockpicks, of course. So we'll just jump back in time and we'll just do a little search based on this new
I
information.
hope you find the notes. I even remember we had mentioned the DC in searching to find it, because I think it was like 15 gold that I put on that hat.
Sure. I'm not gonna deprive you of that opportunity, but I'm not gonna, you know, give you a lockpick set out of nowhere.
It's not out of nowhere. I feel because I had brought it up during the creation of the character and the preparation, and when we were setting him up. Remember that I put what I had in one pouch, what I have in another, the bag and the hat. It's not like I'm trying to pull the wool over your eyes. It's something that's been part of this character.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's fair to see, you know, to do an investigation check, like,
Yeah.
in just like see if they would have found it.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a disadvantage because it's in a hat and it's gonna be pretty unexpected. We're gonna find out. Disadvantage, here it is. Alright, well.
Wow.
Alright, well, that was a disadvantage, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Nothing to do.
Okay, so yeah.
Great to see that it was taken.
It was unfortunately taken. And Jaya, you're still heaving away at that right chain. They're approaching. I'm gonna give you one more chance, and this is to determine if you can break that chain out of the wall fast enough.
By the way, who's the one that is trying to break out of the chain?
I am.
Please. Can I see this thing where her chain connects to the rock? Can I see that?
It's not on the right side. Also, I would like to point out that I specifically said I was like yanking it out, not like slowly pulling it out.
I understand, but it's still gonna take some time to yank it out of the rock.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do I need to do?
You need to roll me a strength check. You can add a 1d4 to it as well.
Does Chad appear to be awake?
Yeah, Chad is definitely awake now, peering at Jaya. Alright, Jaya, you pull it free of the wall, and you have released one of the shackles. So it's kind of, the chain is pulled free. What are you gonna do?
How long is the chain? Like the length that's hanging from my arm.
I'd say about 5 feet.
Sweet. Now I'm going to move as far this way as I can with the chain still attached to the wall, and then just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move however far, and then I'm going to yank this one. I'm gonna yank out the second one as well, and using the fact that I can now pull directly against the piton and the wall instead of having to pull like along the wall.
So this one I'm gonna give you athletics. You can do athletics if you want.
Okay.
And this will be faster. The footsteps are rapidly approaching, but if you succeed on this strength check, then I will say that you get it in time.
Fucking hell.
Unfortunately, as you heave your athletics, you slip on a piece of what does he slip on? Phina. What does Jaya slip on?
I believe that was just some straw on the ground there that he slipped on. It's hard to see in this light.
Jaya, you slip on that piece of straw. Your face connects with that skeleton, and you are left winded for a moment. Too long for 3 little kobolds begin to appear. Now the spider there is still being maintained unless you are deciding to do this performance of creation.
It's not concentration, the performance of creation.
Oh yeah, it's true. Okay, so the spider is still there. So yeah, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Is this somatic, or
The axe that I just created
I
with
think
my song?
as an action you can channel the magic of a song in creation. Are you singing a song and then it creates a little axe? That'd be Cool.
It creates anything up to 20 times my level, so it could be up to 60 gold. And the great axe, I was just checking, is 30 gold pieces. And that thing will last for 1 hour, I think. See?
That's cool.
Do we have gold though? Because I thought they took all of our gold.
No, I don't need to have the gold.
Yeah, you don't have to have physical gold.
I cannot make a ballista, for example, because that will be too expensive.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you create that. Okay, so what do you do? How do you create it?
Beacon exist, I command. Look, Gal, there's a great axe right by you. Take it.
And a great axe appears there. A few, what do these guys carry? A few sling pellets are thrown at that spider there, and it looks like it just passes right through the spider. And you have that axe at your feet. Okay.
Well, Jaya would definitely pick it up.
Okay, I guess we're entering combat. But it's just going to be between Jaya and the kobolds.
Well, but maybe some of us can use spells, so should we also put in the turn?
That's fair. Let me Alright, there it is. Roll the initiative for everyone.
Oh, you rolled initiative for everybody?
Yeah, you can re-roll it if you, well, no, you're not going to re-roll it. Okay, so looks like a kobold. So we're beginning combat here. 3 kobolds have just entered the room. It looks like they have their slings out. Alright, looks like the first one.
Alright, I'm going to start moving my hands back and forth as I whisper something in Elven. And in my palm appears a small flaming sparrow that flies out and shoots at the first kobold.
Okay, then you will definitely do that on your turn, but the kobold is first to act.
Oh, my bad. I think you meant to saying your turn.
Sorry about that. So he's going to fire off a sling pellet. He's going to throw a sling at you, Jaya. You are stuck to the wall. It's going to be hard for you to move. But you are on your feet. I'm going to say you're going to be no disadvantage. He's not going to get any advantage or anything. So it's just going to be a regular. He had disadvantage on that attack. Let's roll regular. All right, 23 damage. Chad is not going to do anything. Same thing. This guy's going to throw a sling pellet at you. He's going to just pull back on the band and then fire off a sling stone at you.
I think my AC is really low for some reason. I wonder if it's broken. That does hit though.
It might be low because you have no armor. Or anything except your clothes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that would do it. Also, my dexterity is just low, so that's gonna be part of it.
Gotcha. Kiskartchi, it's your go.
Okay, did our Goliath got injured?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast healing word on her. That's our only chance is keeping her up.
Okay. For healing.
And I will move here to the corner. I want to be as close as possible to that action. And that's the end of my turn.
Alright, now it is Phina's turn.
Alright, so now I'm gonna do that fancy clap.
You got it. Go ahead.
It's still being really laggy. Not something else. I'm rolling firebolt.
Okay, I rolled a firebolt for you. It looks like you crit. Hey, nice.
Hey, you can roll all my spells.
Nah, I won't do that. Apologize for doing it. So you got a crit, so you get a weapon attack critical. Nope, a spell attack critical, sorry. The sight of your magic fills the target's heart with fear. Your target is frightened by you until you stop casting magic. You are able to discern the source of your target's fear. Yeah, so he is afraid of your magic. That firebolt unleashed from your fingers was like 2 times bigger than you expected it to be, and it surprised him, hit him in the face. And he just is thrown back.
Are the kobolds still back, like, through the door, or have they moved up, like, through the doors?
So yeah, he's thrown back. The doors are open, and it looks like Phina's firebolt killed the kobold.
He died of fear.
Yeah, he died. He dropped to the ground.
Are they both? They're both back still through the doors, like they haven't moved up at all.
No, they haven't. They're still behind the door.
Is it my turn?
It is. I guess it's kobold number 2 now.
Okay.
Right after the Phina, and thank you for ending your turn. So this kobold's turn now, and he is gonna take one look at Phina and one look at Jaya. And Jaya, what are you doing right now?
Jaya has picked up the axe and has jammed the handle into, like, is trying to use it to help her get the chain out of the wall.
Nice. And in this moment, you see the door shut. We are going to exit the turn tracker right now. And you guys can continue role-playing what you want to do. You hear footsteps rapidly leaving this area, echoing down the cavern steps. And you hear a strange language being shouted. Does anyone here know Draconic?
Ta-da!
Yeah, I also know Draconic.
That's the song of my people.
Okay, so yeah, you hear in Draconic, the prisoners are escaping! The prisoners are escaping! And you also hear that one of them has broken free of their chains, the big one. And there's also one that knows fire magic. And you hear this echoing through the caverns as they're running away.
Okay, they're telling everybody that we are escaping, so either we do it or they will be liars.
Yeah, Jaya is just going to go to town on this chain. Still not so much like hacking at it as she is just like trying to lever it out of the wall.
Can I see Chad?
Yes, you can. And Chad is kind of picked his head up and he's looking at you guys right now, attentively.
Phina is going to cast Create Motion Doors so that there's any punching tires and any punching up.
So, what is he going to do?
cast the spell, create bonfire.
Gotcha. And casting it by the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. And are you doing anything in chat?
I lean forward and kind of look at him, and then look at Jaya and like give him a look. That's kind of like, oh hey over there. You're kind of cute. raise my eyebrows and be like, hey.
And Chad kind of.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Exactly.
And yeah, so Chad kind of picks up his hat, and you kind of hear, you can see him like take off his I don't know what kind of hat that is, like a fedora or some kind of hat. I don't know. But and he picks up his hat and he kind of waves the hat, gives you a salutation with that hat. This would be a good time for you, Jaya, to give me an athletics throw at advantage to see if you can break free of that iron chain, break it out of the stone.
Should I just add advantage to the one I already rolled? Can you see that one, by the way?
Yes. Yeah, just do add advantage to it. So yeah, you feel it coming off, and it's gonna come. It's a little bit slower, but it's coming away, and you feel like it's gonna break free of the rock in just like a minute or two. So in that time,
that's all I'm doing.
In that time, your companions can do anything they wish, and you feel like Jaya's gonna get free of that chain, of that shackle, in just a minute.
Can I do a charisma roll?
To raise one eyebrow.
Of course.
So that would be what would that be? Oh no. She kind of chickens out in the middle of it and then just leans backwards.
My friends, it appears you have successfully conducted a prison break. Might you help an old chadster like me and break me out as well? And you hear that voice come from your companion in the corner. He does have a cloak around him, kind of a blanket and mattress all in one. He has his hat. As for his weapons and everything else that's taken from him, it looks to be a kind of sailor of some kind, perhaps a rogue or a thief-like character. It looks to be in some cheap clothes, cheap robe, cheap cape, although his hat is a bit flourishing. You're creating a bonfire, so there's a bonfire there. Nice.
And Kiskartchi starts singing on a loud voice as a motivational speech. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and to run where the brave dare not go. And he sings that song, and everybody gets 5 temporary hit points, and will have advantage if it comes to wisdom saving throws. If you're hit by an attack, you will have advantage in your next attack roll. And these effects will last as long as you have those 5 temporary hit points.
Cool.
It's up to 5, so I don't give it to myself. So, but all the creatures were able to hear me, so all the other companions, including Chad the Narc, get those points.
I sort of say over to Chad, I say, you look like the kind of fella who can shimmy his way out of this kind of situation.
Tell me you have a prison wallet. Tell me you have something in your prison wallet.
If I did, I would have broken out a long time ago. But I'll tell you what, friends, you spring me from this, and I'll tell you about a nice opportunity down in the coast I have.
Down where?
Down in the coast. Now I might look to be
very far from here, and nowhere. And after we escape from here anyway. Nothing that can help us right now.
I'm a solid person. Look, I can help. I can help. You know, old Chadster knows a friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. You know, you help me now, I'll help you later. You can count on me. It's as good as gold.
Well, we're going to help you, but I am already personally sorry you cannot. What can you do now? That will be important. So we all escape, right?
And at that moment, Jaya breaks free of the chain. You can freely move now. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I'm a good dagger in a fight. I grew up on the in the streets of. I'm gonna name one of the streets in the city. I don't know all the cities in Toronto. I grew up on the streets of Torenhall, which is a city on the coast. I'm a good dagger in a fight. I grew up on the streets of Torenhall, sailor by trade, although out of work for a while now. I guess pirate. Let's call me a privateer. Anyway, you can count on me. Jaya, what are you doing?
I'm going to move over and attempt to free Zynthra, still using the pickaxe, and focusing on where it connects to the wall.
Okay, so Zynthra is watching you as you use that pickaxe. I thought it was a battle axe.
Yeah, it is a battle axe. Yeah, sorry about this.
Zynthra, help him.
And I would also, I would say to Zynthra, cool.
Okay. I pull against the chains, and I feel very honored that she chose to free me first.
Okay, I want both of you to give me athletics. Zynthra, give me a strength check, and I want Jaya to give me an athletics check. You can go and add a 1d4 to that, Jaya.
Okay.
And you can do it at advantage too, since you have the battle axe.
The athletics is at advantage?
No, yeah, the athletics, yes.
Okay.
Damn, not that she needs it.
Yeah, you're heaving, you're hoeing, and it is pulling that shackle out. And with the little bit of help you get from Zynthra, you're able to break out of that chain, or break that chain out of the wall pretty quickly. And I'll say that you can get both of Zynthra's chains out in just 1 minute.
I turn to Zynthra and I say, free the lizard. And then I'm gonna go free Chad.
All right.
You got it.
And I leave her with the battle axe so that she can use it on the cage, and I'm just gonna use my hands.
Okay.
And what Kiskartchi said, maybe if you can put it between the bars and enlarge the room, maybe I can squeeze through.
Yeah, good idea. So do I just do what could it sort of check what I do for that?
It's gonna be now. The cage is a little bit different. You take a look at the cage, and it appears to be a keyhole in the lock there. So it's a little square keyhole. There's a square pad for where the lock is, and then there's a keyhole in it to unlock it, the cage. And there, you don't see what's on the inside of the square padlock, but it's kind of it's a padlock of sorts. I mean, it's like an old-fashioned 18th century lock. Steel. It's like a rectangular built-in door lock, which you put a key into and you turn the key, and after you turn the key, it unlocks the tumblers, and then you can open the cage.
Yeah, well, that is why, because we don't have a lockpick, that I'm suggesting that she rather tries to bend the square so that I can try to squeeze through.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Could I do like a investigation of the room, see if there's anything I could use to sort of pick the lock?
Sure. I'll give you a. I'll say you're doing that for basically maybe 30 seconds, just taking a quick look around. I want you to give me an investigation check. You don't have a torch with you, but you do have night vision, so I'll say it's just regular. And Jaya, I want you to give me same athletics with the 1d4 plus advantage.
Okay.
Or no advantage, you don't have the battle axe.
Yeah.
Alright, with that investigation check, you're looking around, you can definitely see hay, you can see straw, you can see rocks, you can see skeleton bones, you can see a few pots, buckets, you can see kind of a broken chain that used to hide, used to bolt Zynthra to, or sorry, not Zynthra, but Jaya to the wall. You can see some iron chains that are bolting this skeleton to the wall. You can also see in the corner a rope, 50 feet of hemp rope as well. And you can also see one sling pellet, if you care about that. It's basically a stone.
Alright. I'm gonna pick up a finger bone and see if I can like whittle it into like a long something long to like pick the lock with the battle axe. See if I can sharpen it or like whittle it into something that I can pick the lock with.
That's an awesome creative solution. I'm gonna give you a 1d4 bonus because of role playing on that. But give me a second. Let me jump back to Jaya here. So Jaya, with that sweet athletics throw, and even with Carlo helping you out, you're able to break both of those chains in the time that Zynthra was searching around the room. So that's like 45 seconds later, you break both the chains. Chad's like, thank you, madam. Let me help you with that. And Chad's kind of assisting you with this last part. Zynthra, we're gonna jump back to Zynthra here. Tell me how you're carving this bone into how?
Well, I sit the axe on my knee. I sit down on the ground, I sit the axe on my knee, and I work the bone across the blade and turn it around as doing so. And I pick it up and look at it, make sure that it's the right shape. I fit it to the lock. I put it up to the lock to see if it fits, and I keep shaving away at it until I think it looks like it's something that could pick it.
Alright, great suggestion. There's going to be two separate skill checks here. First skill check is an intelligence skill check. It's going to be an investigation to see if you can discern what the correct key shape is to unlock the cage. And unfortunately, it's just too dark. You don't have the torch with you. You're unable to see the tumblers, and it's just impossible for you to get started. And you just take like 30 seconds fumbling with the cage in order to try to get it open, try to get the exact position of the key, but it's just impossible. We're gonna jump back to Jaya here, but go ahead, Kiskartchi. What do you got?
Kiskartchi tells Zynthra, go and help the others. Go and help the others. Make sure at least 4 of us are out.
All right. We're gonna jump back to Jaya at that moment. Jaya, what are you gonna do?
Is the cage? Well, Jaya's just gonna grab the bars and sort of like shake it, and A, see if it's bolted to the ground, and B, see if it has a floor that is part of it.
Now,
like, is it a full cube, or is it just like walls and a ceiling bolted to the walls and ceiling and walls and floor of the cave?
It is a full cage. It is a full cube, but it's not bolted to the ground.
Okay. Jaya's just gonna rip the door off. She's so mad.
Alright, tell me how you do that.
She's going to put like a foot up on the side on like the door jamb, so to speak. And then she's like 7 feet tall, so I assume she's significantly taller than the cage. And so she's just gonna grab the top of the door and just try to wrench it down.
Okay, so now there are armholes that you can kind of stick your arm through, but I'm going to say you need to break 3 of these banded steel plates in order to get Phina out. Even though Phina's skinny, you gotta have to break 3 of them in order to break him out. And with Kiskartchi, you only have to break 2. Because Kiskartchi's like tiny.
Okay. Wait, is it not like bars? Is it not like a bar cage?
It is bars, but they're crisscrossed, right? They're crisscrossed, and you can kind of stick your hand through. But you're gonna break 3 of the bars, and then Phina can kind of squeeze through. You can break 2 bars.
I'm just focusing on the door.
Oh, the door. Well, the door has the same thing. The crisscross bars, except the door has a padlock. It's not a padlock. It's not like a bike lock. It is like a square built into the door lock. You can you insert a key into the keyhole and you turn right, and then it opens.
Yeah, Jaya is just like, because it has hinges, she's like estimated that's the weakest part of it, and so she's just trying to basically break one of the hinges so she can bend the door open and pull the human out.
Gotcha. You're trying to break the hinges. So there's going to be 2 hinges, and you're going to break one of them. So I want you to roll me. Just roll me an attack roll.
Oh, it'd be an attack roll?
Yeah, an attack roll.
With my hand?
No, with your battle axe.
Oh, I give the battle axe to Zynthra. I'm just ripping the door off.
Oh shoot. Okay, well, that's going to be a bit tougher.
Sure.
I'll give you athletics. Athletics.
I could come over and give the battle axe back.
Nah, you're focused on what it is. It's fine. If Jaya needs your help, then she'll come ask for it.
So yeah, you can do athletics, and it's going to take you a number of successes in order to get this down.
Okay.
Go ahead, give it to me. So yeah, you're breaking it, and it looks like you're working the hinges right now. You're breaking, and some of them are starting to get loose, but it's taking a while, right? This is exactly what the cage was meant to withstand. So it's taking a bit, but you're breaking it down. It's taking you a little bit. We're going to jump back to Phina if you want to do anything.
I'm just giving encouraging words to Jaya and kind of pressing at the cage, although I'm pretty weak, so I don't think there's much I can do for the
I'm also probably kind of intimidated.
Severely intimidated.
Also, OOC, Zynthra, that wasn't like if Jaya needs your help, she'll ask for it. Get off my back. It was just like, don't get it. Yeah, it was just like, yeah. Didn't want that to sound
That's okay.
Didn't want to let Jaya's frustration play into my words. Anyway, sorry about that.
We're going to jump back to Kiskartchi and Zynthra in a second here, but in the distance you hear shouting and you hear voices approaching. It looks like they're pretty far away right now, but you hear the voices approaching. And shouting in Draconic. They're mumbled, it's echoing, so it's really hard for you to find out. But if you decide to take a moment, basically wait, don't do anything for the next 30 seconds and listen, I'll give you a chance to listen to what they're saying. Otherwise, we're going to have to continue. You can continue doing it.
Kiskartchi, all he's doing is pointing to the other side of the room. So, of course, if I hear people talking in Draconic, I'm going to pay attention.
Okay. So, Kiskartchi, Phina, do you want to do this as well? You haven't done anything yet.
Phina is not going to stop and listen, however, hearing them gives her an idea. She's going to tell Jaya to check the body of the kobold. Maybe it has a key.
Okay.
Jaya looks at Chad like, you do that. Like she's gonna continue doing what she's doing, but she's gonna send him to go check the body.
Alright, so you put out, so Chad waits by the bonfire and then kind of looks at Phina. We're gonna cut back to Chad right after we go to Jaya and Kiskartchi. Kiskartchi, I want you to roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
So I'll roll again.
Unfortunate.
Oh shoot, the DC was 18, so you cannot hear anything right now, but you do
I thought you said that we heard the voices.
You hear the
I
voices.
cannot understand anything.
You can't discern it. You can't discern it. That's what I meant. Okay, so you hear the voices. You can't discern them. Zynthra, what are you gonna do?
I'm also gonna go over to the door and see if I can discern anything. Oh wait, I don't know Kobold though.
It is Draconic, what they're speaking. Do you know Draconic?
I don't think so. Alright, so I will just, I'll go over to chat and help him. search the
One
body.
moment. Can I have 1 moment, please?
Oh, sorry.
So, out of game, I don't really have any idea what's going on here. What was our mission? I know I watched part of your guys' game session from the other day, and I saw that you drank the stew and fell unconscious and all that, and I saw you guys were, like, crossing the plains of Iran towards some mountains, but what are we doing?
So I don't know what we're doing right now. I think this is very out of our plan. But in general, I think we were, because I only just really joined too. But in general, I think we were just kind of exploring. We were exploring a map that we found in a temple. Yeah, and that's how we got it, basically.
Alright.
Alright, sorry about that. So we're going to jump back into it. So now we've lost the little that we still had. No, don't worry. First of all, you were paid to get, you were allowed into the town, you were allowed to long rest, you were allowed all that stuff. And as for the payment, denied your payment, I mean, the payment was to get into the town. Where were we?
Yeah, but then that group said that they were not going to honor the 50 hens voucher, and so we had to take this mission just so they will honor the 50 hens voucher. That's why it felt like, oh, so because if these people insisted they were not going to honor it, it was logical to expect that then we were going to be kicked out again.
Yeah. Based
so
on
we have to go here to try to make the voucher value again, or be honored, and here we are.
A little bit different than that. You were investigating a map, nothing to do with the voucher. The reason why they didn't, or at least the rumors that you heard, was because that they didn't believe that your voucher was credible because it was so old. Zynthra, what are you trying to do here?
Alright, so since I failed at whittling lockpick, I'm gonna go over to Chad and see if I can help him, because he's searching the body, right? He's searching the body of the kobold to see if there's a key.
Yep, so Chad's trying to get over there, but there's a giant bonfire in the way, and he's trying
The bonfire only lasts 1 minute, and I think it's up, because they were doing things that took like 45 seconds.
Oh, sounds good. If you guys could delete that little squares, that'd be awesome. And Chad's gonna get out there and search the kobold.
Oh, the door's like open.
Yep, the doors are open.
Ah.
And Chad's taking a look, and he pulls
so-
out. He pulls out. He pulls out 15 silver pieces into his pocket, and he kind of pockets that silently. And then he pulls out a key, and he pulls out a short sword as well. So he pulls out the short sword. He pulls out the key. He is taking the short sword, puts that into his hand, and then he looks at that key, and then he looks back at Jaya and at Kiskartchi. He gives the key to you, Zynthra. What do you do?
I take it and I wink at him, and then I go over to Kiskartchi's page and I try it in the lock.
Alright, try it in the lock and it sets Kiskartchi free. During that time, we're going to cut back to Phina and Jaya. What do you guys do?
I'm just continuing to yank the door open.
Alright, give me one more athletics check, same as before.
Can I still hear Draconic in the
Yes, you do. And give me another investigation check. Or, sorry, a perception check. This time, just regular. 23, yep, you hear it. And you hear it, and it looks like, yeah, boss, it was coming from over here. Looks like they're trying to do a jailbreak of some kind. But this magician, this flame magician, was really, gosh, it's really strong, guys. And that's kind of the gist of what you're hearing.
Have I made any opening whatsoever in the door?
Yep, you have broken one of the hinges. So there's the second hinge there is available, but you've broken one of the hinges.
In that case, can I just sort of like cockeye the door enough to lift her out? Like I don't really care about like trying to break the whole door off if I can just sort of bend it enough to get her out.
I'm gonna say yes, but there's gonna be a complication. And the complication is this. You can try to bend the steel out and give enough room for Phina to crawl out. It's gonna be an athletics check, but if you fail it, then your hand is gonna slip and you're gonna pin Phina to the cage, and she's gonna take some damage and maybe something else will happen. Do you want to risk
Is it that small?
Well, it's not particularly that small. It's just you have to create the opening because you're pulling on the steel, and so if your fingers slip, it's like a vice strap.
Gotcha.
We've seen that Zynthra has the key though, so.
Yeah, I mean Jaya doesn't know that. Do I make this decision? Is all this happening right now, or are we going back somewhere else?
Yep, this is happening all right now. Zynthra and Chad is looking through the body right now.
Jaya would just say, "Step away from the door," and is gonna try it. But she's gonna make sure that Phina is as far away from the door as possible before she does anything.
Okay, you pull it, and you pull back the steel, and it looks like there's a hole there. Phina, what do you do?
I try for it.
Okay, both of you get inspiration, and I want Zynthra to give me an athletics check.
I would lift her out, by the way. Like, I would just grab her by the front of her clothes and just, like, yank her out of the cage.
Oh, so you're doing this, you're bending the steel one-handed.
No, I would bend the steel, and then once there was enough of a hole, it's not permanently bent, I'm having to hold it back. Is that how you're envisioning it?
Yep, you have to hold back the steel, yep.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Okay, okay. I'm holding it, yeah.
Alright.
You wanted me to make an athletics check?
Nope, sorry. Jaya, make an athletics check, and Phina, you can both of you guys get advantage. Give me an athletics check when you have a check.
Do you have inspiration as well?
Well, you do, but you can't re-roll it after you roll it.
No, sure.
But 20 does succeed. The DC was 18, so you're able to get out of there successfully. Very nice.
Whew. Thanks, Jaya. I owe you one.
You guys have broken
Jaya
out.
just sort of nods.
The voices are getting closer. It looks like there's a group speaking out in the hallway right now.
Jaya picks up the torch and hands it to Phina.
got it. I think they're coming. Get ready, everybody.
Alright, and this is where we are going to stop our session today.